Hosted by David Thomas, Bill Anderson, Kenny Parker, and Jason Boyette. Brought to you by First Bank and Kincaid Service Company. Let's get ready to talk some sports. Here are your hosts, David, Bill, Kenny, and Jason.
Good morning, everybody. Welcome to the first edition of the 2025-2026 Bedford County Sports Talk Live.
It's just 4 years.
We're back.
Fourth year?
Fourth or fifth. I don't know, man. It's been a long time. But we've got the same sponsors that we started with, First Bank and Kincaid Service Company. We want to thank them. We thank for everybody tuning in. I know we're catching a lot of people off guard because we've been away for about 6 or 7 weeks now. And we're fixing to get started into some, but there's a very special event taking place, Jason.
It is.
What's going on?
We got a big birthday. Needs to go out to Scott Spray, the Shelbyville super fan. One of the biggest Shovel fans that I know is Scott Spray.
He is the.
Hey,
I mean,
if
we could crown him.
now fan also.
Yes, he is.
Oh, yeah.
He's one of the few that comments to us.
And he's in there now.
Is he?
I think he's
happy birthday,
Happy birthday, Scott.
I think he's turning 54 this week.
54?
He told me. So
No,
Scott, happy
45,
birthday.
You're dyslexic. He's just 45.
Yeah, that's right.
And at the end of the show, Kenny Parker's going to sing happy birthday.
Oh.
But that's going to make everybody quit. That's going to make
That's
everybody
why we're going to do it then.
All right. And then we got something else before we go to our first commercial break. Bill Anderson has got a trivia question for us, and we can't answer it, but we're going to throw it out there, and we'll keep throwing it out there as people come on. But we want to get a consensus at the end from everybody that's watching the answer to this trivia question. If you know the answer to this, just type it in. And
they're going to Google.
Huh? They're going to Google.
They're going to
Google. We can't.
We're Googling
Google it up. Twitter it up.
Twitter it up.
All right.
It's your Twitter.
Or exit.
Yeah.
All right. Tell us, what is the question?
Dave Overcast, who comments on here and watches a lot, he sent me this question. It's a pretty good one. Name the only player to win a Heisman Trophy, a college national championship, a Super Bowl, and a Super Bowl MVP. There's only one person who's ever done it.
All right.
That's our question.
Can I at least ask you if it's the right position? Will you tell me yes if I ask you?
No. I can't do that.
No.
That's almost like a nudge toward one player.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Well,
I will say this. It's a modern era. It's not something way back in the 50s or 60s.
It wasn't in the leather helmets.
That was color television
no
and all
leather
that
helmets.
good stuff.
No leather helmets.
No leather helmets.
All right. Now, we're
No single bar.
No. It's actually,
right.
Let's
We're
say
good.
from 1965 forward.
Sure.
All right.
Yep.
I'd call that the modern era, wouldn't you?
You know the answer.
Yeah, you would quit giving it away.
I tipped him off.
He tipped me off a little bit. All right. We're going to take a break here from First Bank and Kincaid
Service
Company.
And something about Kincaid that I didn't realize. I was up there a couple of days ago, and I walked in, and you go up the steps to the appliance part. I looked to the left. Man, they had a whole line of beds in there. I'm going, man, that looks like a good place to take a nap. They got like mattresses running out their ears up there. And I'm talking
squatters,
about,
did you?
Huh?
You didn't see any squatters, did you?
No, but that's a good place. And I was tempted, man.
To go in there.
If Mark ever walks through there and he sees me taking a nap, maybe he'll leave me
Hey,
alone.
Mark, don't tell everybody
but
out here.
They got some good mattresses up there.
Good.
Best selection I've seen around.
Good.
Yeah. Well, let's pause now and hear from our sponsors. We'll be right back.
Kincaid Service Company is a locally owned family business that has proudly served the Middle Tennessee area since 1934. We have a wide selection of furniture, appliances, electronics, and mattresses for every budget and design taste. We carry the brands that you know and trust, so you're sure to find exactly what you're looking for. Need financing? We have you covered. With our service department, you can rest assured that we will take care of you after the purchase. Visit our Shelbyville store at 400 Madison Street today.
Yeah. All right. Welcome back in here to Bedford County Sports Talk Live. And guys, it's kind of hard to get back in the flow of things. it seems like we just stopped. We were talking about the draft and the way, the season ended for football. That's kind of the end. And then all the high school sports tapered off with graduation. It's been kind of a dead period. Now we've got high school football teams on the practice field in 100-degree weather practicing. I've been to a few of them, and the kids are doing well. I mean, they're out there working their tails off. And we're going to talk about
to quote
some
the
of that.
late, great Bill Lewis.
Yeah.
It's football.
Yeah, with a real football.
On a football field.
On a football field.
Hey, something before we get started. We quit before community girls softball finished in the state. They wound up fourth in the state. They got put out in their side of the bracket by Liberty Creek, which went on and won it all.
Yeah.
So
congratulations to them.
The girls.
That's looking back, and that's something we did miss on the tail end.
Mm-hmm.
And we got Scott Spray. I can't wait for football. We knew that already because he will be sitting on the track at every ball game.
No, it won't be this year. He'll be sitting
on the track at the away games. He will be there.
Away games.
He's there.
Right,
He's there at all. And guys, before we dive into this, there's a lot that's happened over the last 5 years, in particular in high school sports. But I want to talk about it. It's affected Bedford County.
It's triple-down effect.
Now, this last year. They changed the ruling on transfers where you can make a one-time transfer without any reason. You can just transfer. So we got kids now that are living in one county and driving to another county to go to school. And we got, of course, in our county, we've got kids that would normally be zoned for Central or Cascade or community playing at another school. That opens the door for that. Every county is facing the same thing. But we have got certain areas, and I'm going to throw it out there, Rutherford County. Mm-hmm. You got those high schools now out recruiting the counties around them and accumulating some of the better players, and it's putting the smaller schools at a disadvantage. I'm going to throw it open. How do you guys feel about this? What's happened? Drawbacks?
You expected private schools to do it. We knew that was coming. But in this instance, it's a lot of public.
Well, what's happening is some schools are proactive in getting ahead of the legal curve, just like when NIL started in the college, some schools went out after it real quick. Ole Miss and started doing it where everybody else says, "Oh, you ain't supposed to be doing that. That ain't right." And Ole Miss got out in front of the curve. Now we got high schools because why I don't know, don't agree with it. NIL's legal in high school now.
Yep,
you can pay that in high school. It's that old trickle down effect. And we've got some schools, not any in Bedford County that I'm aware of, but we got some in the surrounding counties.
Rutherford County's loaded with it. I'm telling you, it's happening.
And you got to be able to have the financial background in order to
So
do
even
that.
now in high school, we've seen it in college for a few years now. We're going to talk about that later. It's just like the old Yankees and Dodgers. Yeah. Whoever can buy the best team is going to have the best team, and that's what's happening in high school now.
That didn't come into effect until this year.
Yeah,
NIL's been there for about 3 years or 4, but this year is the first year you can actually transfer.
Yep.
See, they could have paid the player. Somebody in Rutherford County could have paid Bill Thomas or Bill Anderson 2 years ago this money to go over there, but what they would have had to have done was sit out a year.
Yeah, now
they don't. Yeah. Now because of this year, they can do it one time. So if Bill Anderson gets the money and goes to Rutherford County, he's there. But if next year the Rutherford County school says, "Bill, we ain't giving you," and Bill goes back to his school, now he's got to sit out a year because he can't transfer back.
And there's a new word. You ready for this one? Handler.
Yeah.
Jason Boyette and Bill Anderson are available. Any kids out there need a handler? We'll help facilitate you because the word handler, that's the person
10%.
I'm afraid getting
10%.
I'm afraid the handler's the one getting the money and ain't the kid.
Right, yeah.
That's what I'm hearing.
Yeah.
So you're a handler. That's a word for agent.
Yeah, it is. Yeah. All right. Handler, so how does that affect? Now, the trickle down effect is affecting Cascade, Community, Central, all these southern Middle Tennessee schools. Now, I bet you in Fayetteville, that area, you got some Huntsville schools. Probably. Yeah, I don't know what it does in Alabama.
That's always been. South Pittsburgh's got kids out of Scottsboro, or Alabama for years.
Okay, so but the bottom line is, how does it affect these schools that aren't in that game of doing that? It's
only going to be 3 or 4 teams that win the state every year.
Exactly,
it's going to be the same 3 or 4 every year.
So why not just throw them in their own category?
Did you notice
I
Peyton
mean-
Manning's son's at Chattanooga Baylor?
Yeah.
I wonder how he got there.
Well, Chattanooga Baylor.
They're moving.
Was,
They
they
go get
poached.
kids.
Hey,
He's
they
just an
poached
eighth
one of
grade
our
nerd.
kids.
Right.
They
They got
poached
one of
one
our
of
kids.
ours.
Uh-huh.
They got the Tyndall.
Mhm.
He's down there.
I got a kid from Cascade.
Cascade a couple years ago.
All right,
one
so
or two
you
kids.
you got that going on. You're talking about 100 miles away,
Mhm.
getting in a private school. Of
Like
course,
I
they
said,
do
it's
that.
been happening.
Okay, and the big
Yeah.
news that we've heard in the last 2 weeks: no more football at Webb School.
No more football.
That had an effect on them, I think.
Well, I think what's happening, you're going to see that trickle down a whole lot. Webb's had a change in their headmaster.
Yep.
And I think that's where that's coming from. I don't think this headmaster is as big an athletic
Right.
person as the previous headmaster. And way I understand now, because they have really improved a lot of the facilities at Webb, they are in the red.
Yeah.
And that's
But
not,
when you do away with football,
Yeah.
what was the point in putting the facility? And you spent all that
Yeah.
money for nothing.
well, they'll play lacrosse and
Yeah,
soccer.
I guess.
All right. So what does that do to those type sports? And we're going to get to that in college, but it seems like you're going to have football, baseball, and basketball. People are going to be recruiting all those players away for that. A lot of those same players played in other sports too. You got some 3-sport athletes.
Well, they may not be. If Bill Anderson is going to Rutherford County High School next year and he's being paid to play football, I don't think that football coach is going to let him play basketball unless that
If
basketball.
you had a
coach is-
generational athlete here right now, could he really play baseball, basketball, and football? Seriously.
Be hard.
No,
Well,
because
no.
when the season's over, it's not over. Basketball goes on
They
9,
just
10
run into
months.
each other now.
Baseball's going on 9, 10 months. Football, not so much. But those other sports, I don't see how you can play all three.
You know, it
Yeah.
breaks my heart because I'm a loyalty guy.
Yeah,
There's
me
no,
too.
There's no loyalty.
No, I mean,
and all that stuff that's trickled down from college.
Okay.
And now it's trickling down, and it wasn't that big a deal until we started getting affected by it.
Mhm.
As long as it happened to other places, it
Yeah.
wasn't as big. But when it started happening to us, and
yeah,
it has
and that's just a sign of how it's expanded.
exactly.
All right. Now I drove out. We're going to talk about this. I went out to Central's practices this week and took a look at some of what's going on out there, just to check out some of the players. And one day I drove by and I saw the little kids out there playing the D1, D2,
right.
D3, all those that little league started practicing. And I got to thinking to myself, I said, how many of those kids today are sitting there thinking about, I want to be on that field one day playing with those big boys. I want to be a big Eagle.
Mhm.
That conversation is going to diminish the older they get because of what's taking place now. When they get in junior high, they're going to start, if I'm pretty good, I might go play at Oakland.
Right.
Well,
They
and
win the
that-
state
and-
championships.
hey, and I'm going to tell you right now, it's always happened here. We've had kids, even when I was at Cascade, left to come over here because it was going to be a better, same way with community. And, there was been a few kids at Central that weren't as good at Central that left to come to Cascade because they could get playing time. Now what's happening is they getting our best.
Mhm.
Well,
They're
and
getting their
I'll
best.
say this: I've heard a guy say this one time, an older man. He said, the grass is always greener on the other side of the fence, but it's usually growing over a septic tank.
And until you, and then once you get on the other side of the fence, it ain't as green as you thought it
That's
was.
exactly right.
I will make another comment. And I used to say this about John Calipari. He's like Noah's Ark. He's got 2 of everything. When these big schools are coming after you, just realize you may be the big man here, but if you go to a certain place in Rutherford County, they got 6 of you, maybe 7.
I had
You
a
may
kid,
not even play.
I had a kid years ago at Cascade that was going to be a really good football player for me.
He was a lineman, wasn't he?
Oh, he was a wing
Wing.
back. He was a wing back, and he was going to be a really good football player. He was a freshman. Well, he grew about 3 inches over his freshman year, and he was too big to be a running back, to be a wing back, so I was going to move him to tight end. Well, no. Next thing I know, he lines up at Riverdale. He's at Riverdale, and you know where he played at Riverdale? Offensive tackle. But he was going to be a good one for me, but no, he wound up at Riverdale.
Well, guys, things have started. If we talked about it. I know you got some info on what do you got? Community
I got community and Cascade.
in Cascade. I've got a lot of information on Shovel Central. We're going to talk about that, and within mind that I'm just going to come right out. I look at the roster here for Shelbyville Central. They've got 82 total players on the July roster. They've got 18 12th graders. That's a big senior
That's
class.
a big class.
19 11th graders,
Mhm.
28 10th graders, 17 9th graders for a total of 82. And you've got some kids on here that have never played football before. They're newcomers to the team, and some of them are going to contribute. I talked to Coach Dryden yesterday. There's 3 freshmen that are probably going to be on the football field this year playing some football. One of them's going to be a starter right out of the gate.
Well, think about what Harrison Middle School's contributed to them 3 years in a row. They've won their conference. I don't think lost more than one game a year.
But let's run down what Shelbyville Central's got returning this year. Of course, let's start on the offensive side of the ball. Stephen Bobo.
Is he a junior?
He's a junior this year.
Yep.
Bill, tell us a little bit about Stephen Bobo. What's he bring to the table that maybe Shelbyville's never had here before?
Speed, athleticism. It's like Mike Bones said about him in the office one day. Mike Bones said there's certain, he's seen 5 or 6 in his time, that when they get off the bus, they're looking for whoever the alpha is. And he said Stephen Bobo's that kind of kid. He wants to play against the best kid. Who's the best kid? Bring him on.
Yeah.
But the speed Stephen's got. And I think his throwing of the football is going to be even better this year as a junior.
Well, from what I've seen, I got to see him throw one day, and he looked really good. And we're going to have probably a freshman backing him up. Rucker kid from he's good. He's a player.
Remember my old saying, and Stephen's sort of proved me wrong with this. Freshmen and sophomores will make you think you win with juniors and seniors. Now, Stephen got his experience as freshman and sophomore, and even though he was a great player as a freshman, he was nowhere close to what he's going to be this year and next year.
And on defense,
not even close.
On defense,
he's a monster.
He's like having a coach on the field as a junior.
He's in charge of that secondary.
Okay, so this we've got, and let's just talk about on offense. Of course, we got Robert Bailey coming back, one of the best, maybe the best running back in Middle Tennessee. And
led 5A in rushing last year.
Led 5A in rushing, and then we've got a jump up to 6A. And you're going to talk about some bigger lines, better athletes possibly. You look at the schedule. They're going to try to stop William.
Stephen and Robert.
Yeah, Stephen and Robert.
Yeah.
And you got a problem. I say a problem. Somebody's got to step up at receiver. You're going to really miss William Bobo and Ransom.
Right.
So they got to be replaced. But we've got some speed and some young guys coming on.
Let's take it. Xavier Jordan, he's a senior this year.
He
can run. He and Stephen are probably the 2 fastest players on the team.
Probably.
He come on late last year.
Yeah, he did. Well. He caught a couple big passes in a couple of games, and he had a kick return or a punt return. I can't remember. Maybe it was a kick return. It was a pooch kick, and they did a little run around, and man, he took off and left everybody. He's going to bring stuff to the he's going to bring some speed to the wide receiver spot, and he'll be playing in the defensive backfield. You got number 7, Jay Whitelow, returning.
He's a
junior.
He's
getting tall.
Man, I saw him the other day. He looked like a man.
Yeah.
I mean, he's like.
One thing Stephen likes to do is he likes to throw it up if he can. And that kid can go get it.
Yeah.
They did that in Harris a lot.
Yeah.
Those two.
We got Ellington Scott, probably going to be playing some at linebacker this year. He was a down lineman on the defensive line, and he was in the backfield
he was.
all year long.
Kid transferred in.
Huh?
Is that the one?
No, Ellington Scott.
Last year.
Okay.
Ellington has been around for a long
We do
time.
have a transfer, though.
We've got a kid, last name Brown. He transferred in from Murfreesboro. He's as big as Robert Bailey. He's going to be on the field some.
He's just a freshman, isn't he?
He's a freshman. Yeah, right out. He probably weighs 210, 220 pounds, and he's about 6 foot tall or a little bit taller.
Running back.
Running back, linebacker. And I think we'll see him on the field linebacker because our running back stable. I mean, you got Torion Mathis. He's a sophomore this year.
People on the team probably in the offseason.
He has learned to follow his blocks. He's keeping it up in there where he's supposed to.
And he's built like a running back.
Right. And then you've got a new addition, Jack Condit, is going to add a little bit to our defensive backs. Yeah. He's got
really good hands. He runs good routes. Smart kid.
Right.
Bert Condit's son, by the way.
I was going to say the last name sort of.
That's Bert's boy.
He's played basketball. He's a good basketball player, but he's going to switch over and play football.
He's going to play both.
Yeah.
Okay, another senior, John Stanton. He's played for the last 2 or 3 years on defensive line. We've got Reed Dickens, a sophomore. Big kid. I know Reed. He's real quiet, but he works hard. He's going to be a ball player.
He's going to be a player.
Yeah.
He loves it.
Right now, Jackson Thiem is nursing a little hand issue. He's going to be a
Well,
beast.
he's
at
He's going to
linebacker.
be a player.
Yeah.
He is. He might be the one on that team that just
Right.
elevates himself big time. Tanner Turrentine coming back on defense and offensive line.
Best offensive lineman you
Yes.
got, and probably your best defensive
Right.
lineman as well.
We got Landon Coffey that stepped up now as a
Mhm.
junior, going to be snapping the ball, playing on the line some. We've got Ethan McBee has been moved to tight end.
Oh,
Okay.
He is taking down some weight, and they've been running him at tight end some. Peyton Gentry played a lot on the defensive line last year. Probably going to see both sides of the ball some this year. Colton Clardy, a senior. He's a big
guy.
kid.
Yeah.
He's going to
Good
help on
kid.
the line. And then, of course, we've got Esteban Carrera. I can't pronounce his last name. Carry-on. He's going to be seeing some action this year. He's a big kid. And, of course, we got Blake Lay coming back from left tackle. I don't know if he's going to play left tackle or right tackle.
Well, this stable of
But,
running backs, one thing I think you're going to see is Robert on defense a whole lot
Yes.
more. And
Yeah.
Robert can play, and he can rush the passer.
Yes.
And you're
for
going to
sure.
see that, I think. a
As
lot
good
more
as
this
he
year.
is at running back, I still think he's better at running
I'm
back.
not so sure you're not
Yeah.
right.
You got Chandler Jones also out there. You got Jonathan Betzelberger coming back handling the kicking, probably the punting as well. We got a lot of people coming back. Now, here's the question I got for you guys. What's the difference from where they were last year in this region that we could probably win again this year? Now we're going over to the Franklin, the Williamson County area and play in that region at 6A.
Well,
We've got Coffee County is our only familiar foe that we will be playing there. We got
Yeah.
Summit, Independence, Brentwood, Ravenwood, Coffee
Ravenwood
County.
will probably win the state. Ravenwood wins the state about every other year.
But they lost their coach.
Yeah, but
Their
they
coach is
they
not-
immediately
Yeah, but
they
they,
had
they're
somebody,
in that
yeah, they-
they're in that Williamson
Yeah,
County,
they-
so they can.
So you've
there's
got
no
that.
off weeks.
No off weeks. There's not a cupcake on the schedule.
I mean,
And here's another thing you look at. You know, there's no cupcakes, and we go on the road. We're going to go on the road quite a bit because of the field. But we go on the road according to the schedule 6 of the first 7 games, and their road games aren't short trips.
Nope.
Their road games are in Williamson County, and if we're lucky, they're going to be Summit may be the shortest trip we got this so the road trips are going to be trips.
And your 2 out of conference games are Hendersonville and
Yeah.
Clarksville,
Hendersonville and Clarksville,
which is a real haul,
hey, in
especially Clarksville.
Clarksville. That's a
All right, so Coach D's coming on here, and then Tim
Coach
Loki's
D.
asking about what about Nate? Nate is playing at Cascade. He decided he was going to transfer to Cascade. I'm sure we'll talk about him. But Coach D brings this up. How is this any different than the 80s and 90s when the Eaglettes were getting the best players in the area? They came from Moore County and all. That's just kind of the way it was back then. I mean, and that was what I think some of the
they weren't being paid though.
No, they weren't being paid. And the transfer rule, they had to move. That was one thing, or live in the county. One
Now,
of
Mom
two.
and Daddy did get a job, probably. something
Right,
like that.
right. That is.
I mean, that was true.
It happened.
Might be the post office,
But,
might be
and
yonder.
this is one of those things when you got the best program, people want to play there.
yeah, they won.
Okay, that's kind of like what Oakland is.
Right.
But every Rutherford County team over there, they're waving money and they're like enticing kids because they want to compete against Oakland and the other teams over there. All right, so and then we got about what Tim Loki's asking about Nate. He'll be a Cascade champion. And then Coach D, shout out to Stephen Bobo, who's playing in the Future Stars game this weekend against the best of the best in baseball, and is showing out. His recruiting tag says gamer. There's no question.
Here's the thing: as good as we want to talk about Stephen on the football field, which he's great,
He is.
he levels up the notch on the baseball field.
Yeah.
Because that's his ticket.
That's his wheelhouse.
He's going
That's his
SEC,
ticket.
and one of these days he will get drafted by
Yeah,
Major League
he's
Baseball.
going to be drafted. There ain't no question. There's no question. All right, let's shift gears now. Let's talk about a little bit of community. I know, Kenny, you've done a little homework.
I've got a little
Jason, you've done a little
community,
homework.
and I haven't been down to watch them yet. My brother has, and I've got some feedback from him. Go ahead, Jason. I'll let you.
All right,
let
this
you have that,
comes
and
from
then-
Coach Glenn Tidwell. He says, "Hello, guys. We currently have around 40 young men playing football, so I would think that's a good number out
That's a
there.
pretty good
Is that
number.
freshman and all?
Yeah, that's all.
I think so.
Okay.
Says these guys have come a long way in a short amount of time. Since I got here, I being Coach Tidwell, obviously, in March from a strength and weight gain to team building activities. But the most important part has been their attitude and willingness to be coached and wanting to get better. We still have a long way to go, but practice has been good even through the heat. He says they have scrimmages next Friday, August 1st at Cornersville. And then the following week, August 8th at home versus Wayne County. August 15th at Mount Pleasant in a jamboree. The team is young. To put in context, we only have around 6 to 8 guys that drive. So I guess they only have 6 to 8 juniors and seniors.
They're all young.
They're
but
young.
talented. It says right now we have 9 seniors. They have done a great job in being team leaders. The culture's changing, and the players are starting to buy into what we're doing. They hold each other accountable. It says that the offensive line, we have Wyatt Elsner, and I hope I'm pronouncing these guys right, a junior leading a very young group with no seniors at this point. Quarterback, we have 2 quality young men fighting for the spot in Charlie Haskins, a junior, and Caden Hensel, freshman. Isaac Jacobs, senior, is leading a group at running back. On defense, we have at this point a much older group led by Jace Matthews and Lewis Butler up front on the defensive line. As of today, Severn Garman is leading a great but young linebacker group, and Isaac Jacobs is leading a young but talented group of safeties and defensive back.
Heard the name Isaac Jacob twice, so you know what that tells me.
So
right.
Thank you, Coach, for getting back with us on
when
that.
I got that same message and I took some notes out of it, some of the things that I highlighted. He's extremely young.
Yeah.
Very few seniors. Young kids are very talented, so they're going to be coached. These are the 2 things that I got most out of it. He says they're starting to see a culture change. Mm-hmm. You've got to have that culture change.
Yeah.
And the players are starting to buy in. They're starting to buy in. He knows he's going to have some growing pains. He knows it's going to be a challenge. And he listed a few players, and we got some of those, and only one, this Isaac Jacobs, he listed offensively and defensively. Yeah. It's the only senior he listed, but he did say his older kids were going to be more on the defensive side. Mm-hmm. I know the coaching staff has amped up. They used to not have, but maybe 1 or 2. Their coaching staff is amped up. They've amped up their middle school staff. I know a young man by the name of Jared Wade that played against me when he was at Moore County is helping them, and he was a great ball player. We'll bring that to them. So there are going to be some growing pains down there, but I think they're growing. We saw it last year, but I think the difference in what we're going to see at community this year compared to what we've seen, I think we're going to see a better team week 10 this year at community than we saw week 1. Last year, week 1 was when they were their best, and as the season went on, they got worse. I think that's going to be what we see. And you know who they play their last game of the season this year?
Oh, yeah, the Battle of Bedford.
As Robbie Davis likes to say, the Battle of Bedford. So, and that's what they're shooting for. He knows wins are going to be, and for them, we talked about Chevrolet, how their schedule is. This one's no different. Yeah. This one's no different. They're in there. They're in there with Giles County, with Forest, with Squatchy County, teams that are bigger. There's only 5 of them. No, Marion County's out of it this year.
Okay, good.
But they still play them. They still play
them. No, Cascade's got Marion County.
Yeah, community
does not.
Right.
Community is not playing Marion. And I had a copy of that. I'll bring it to you guys next week. I left it on I've got one for just our guys, and I'll bring it to you next week so you can see what I got. But I think they're going to be. And one thing I know, he said they're very young, extremely young, but very talented. They are playing junior varsity games this year before he got the bus schedules. They are playing, so you know what they're playing more than 10 games.
Right.
So they're going to play at least 2, maybe 3 games a week with their older guys. I mean, they're high school age guys. Okay.
Okay, so they're just looking at their schedule, and this is something I always do every year. As I sit down and I look, and I just think about, okay, let's look at the schedule of Central. Let's look at Cascade.
And that's
let's look
what
at community.
I've got it all, and I dig.
Yeah, and I'm sitting here just looking at it. And I'm trying to say, okay, Is this a win? Is this a win? Is this a win? Based on what I know about the other teams.
Who do they open up with?
Central opens up with Tullahoma on a Saturday night.
Saturday,
On my
Cascade.
Moore
TV
County.
30, it's going to be
Yeah.
on television.
Yeah,
Community opens up with Moore County and Cheatham County.
no, Cascade hosts Cheatham County.
Right. They open up with
Community's
them.
got to go to Moore County, I
Right.
believe.
Yeah.
And Cascade is at home against Cheatham County.
Yes. On the 22nd.
Yeah.
All right, that's
the
a
first
Friday
week.
night. All right, so I sit down here and I say, what would be a successful season for these teams? You got Community that's got a new coach, completely rebuilding. You got Cascade on the second year of a new coach, rebuilding, and then you got Central with a returning team that's got a good nucleus that's had the carpet pulled out from under them, and they're in 6A now. How do these teams? What
And
is
they're
going to
play
be
on the
good?
road.
Yeah,
Probably 7 out of 10.
Yeah, you
Maybe.
might.
Let's go and
Maybe.
let's get to
Yeah,
Cascade
maybe not.
too, because
Yeah.
they had to move up to 3A. I don't know a lot of people. They were 2A,
Yeah, they were too.
and now Cascade is having to move up to 3A,
But here's the thing,
which is where Community already was.
but with Cascade moving up to 3A, Forest moved up to 3A with them. So
I think Forest is the smallest 3A school in the state.
yeah,
maybe.
they are. Yeah, and Community's not far behind.
And they're going to be tough.
Yeah, they'll be pretty good. Looking at Cascade, Coach Karkoff, Jared sent me his coaching staff and all. And as I look at his coaching staff, I'm not going to name them all, but I look at Jared, Will Carter, Ethan Calvert, Sanders Lover, and Ricky Horde and Phil Horde. Of the 11 coaches he sent me, 7 of them played at Cascade. 7 of them have played at Cascade, and they're young, they're older. They're going to be older. You can tell when I went out and watched them, their bodies look totally different than what they did. Because last year, and I just told them, I'm not critiquing them or anything, they were playing almost like a JV team. They were playing almost because they were having to play a lot of young kids. He sent me 4 seniors, Joe Bailey, a big offensive and defensive lineman that I feel like if he gets after it, he's got a chance to play for MTSU. He's big. He's about 6'6", and he is thick. And if he can get after it and stay healthy, he's got a chance to play somewhere else later on. Will Benton started in the offensive line last year. Hayden Hill and Andrew Dow both started for him last year. So all 4 of these kids started for him last year. Then there's junior Braxton Burris, who was a young kid last year. He's a junior. And I watched him yesterday. Braxton really impressed me yesterday. He will thump you. He's a wide receiver, a defensive back. He's got good range. He's not very tall. He's not very big, but he's got a big heart, and he will thump you. Levante Clay, and then Isaac Rhymes, offensive, defense, and I think they contributed. He's had 4 kids that he listed that are new players that have moved in. One's a senior, Sejan. I hope I'm not saying this right. Sazan Swaggerty comes from Lewis County, from Marshall County. And let me tell you, he caught my eye yesterday. He's going to be a player. He's an edge rusher. If he was on my team, I'm keeping him fresh. He will thump you, and he is very athletic. Their quarterback this year is a big kid, Webb, dropping their program down. Sam Bradley, they picked up Sam. He's a junior, big, thick kid, can throw the ball. He's going to help them, and he's just going to be a quarterback. And then we've already talked about Nate Zimmerman, moved over from Chevrolet here, running back, linebacker, leader. He's going to be a player that fits in. They all fit in real good. And then there's a kid by the name of Aaron Graff, who's a wide receiver, defensive back. I think he said he came from Chevrolet, but he didn't play.
Community.
But he didn't play. Okay, they was telling me he come from Chevrolet, but he didn't play football last year.
It's John Graff's boy.
Okay,
He played at Community and quit the team early in this season. He was actually one of the better players at Community. And right when the season started, I think that's when he moved to Chevrolet, but didn't play. But he'll help him. He's quick.
And he didn't list their kicker, but their kicker is returning, and I sorry, I don't have his name. He can kick it. I went out and watched them. My brother and I were out there the other day, and it was just when they were in shorts and stuff, and they were going through their stuff. But I saw them yesterday. Uh, they're a totally different team
Yeah.
than they were last year.
Okay,
They
guys.
are a totally different team.
We kind of got a feel for all three of these. What would be a successful season for Cascade this year? What do y'all
Well,
think?
number one for Cascade and Community is to make the playoffs. To me, number one is to make the playoffs. And I look at you. We'll talk about any of them. Success is making the playoff for both of them. Both of them are young. And when I say young, I'm saying young because they don't have many seniors. So they're building this team, and they're building next year's team also. So
Right.
because they're not going to lose a whole lot.
Well,
So to me, success at Cascade and Community is getting better each week, putting myself at the end of the season with a chance of making the playoffs. I don't think that you can put a wins and a losses and say because you won 5 games or 6 games and 4 that's a winning season. I think for both of these, I think they're going to look at their season not in wins and losses, but how they're improving. Now, wins and losses are extremely important. And when you look at that and you look at the schedule, are you going to say a win? This is a win. This is a loss. I don't think we can do that. I don't think it would be fair for them because it all depends. And I know you can look at both Cascade and Community. Their region games are the back end. They start at week 5. So these first 4 weeks will give you a better understanding of where they are.
okay, for them to go to the playoffs, they're going to finish 3rd and 4th. They're going to have to be in there.
They could be either 3rd and 4th.
Yeah, right. So that means they're going to have to. They're
That
going to
means
have
they're
to
gonna
have
have
some
to-
wins.
In order for that, and look in the district, you've got Giles County.
Yeah.
Not gonna beat them.
You got Squatchy County.
Not gonna beat them.
You've got Forest.
Ain't
Tough.
gonna beat
You
them.
got
tough.
Cascade, and you got Community. And
It's gonna be tough.
And it couldn't. I didn't say it was going to be easy.
I think
But
if you can have one of those two to make the playoffs, you're going to have a successful
Well, one of
season.
those two's going
Yeah,
to make the
exactly.
playoff because they play
They
each
got
other.
to. Yeah, there are only 5 in there, right?
Yeah, there's only 5
Okay,
in
well.
there. So one of those two's going to be there.
All right. So one of those two, if both of them did, then they've had a really good successful season.
Or the
All right,
county's
Shelbyville.
had a good
All right,
success.
Shelbyville.
Is
Shelbyville.
Watertown not in their district?
No,
Okay.
All right, so Shelbyville.
Because they both play Watertown towards the end of the year in both cases.
I don't think Watertown.
I thought
is
Watertown's in there at
I'm
6,
not
not
sure.
5. Maybe somebody else out there knows it.
We want to read that schedule out. What do we
Yeah,
got?
Shelbyville starts out with Tullahoma. Then we go to Marshall County. Then we've got Franklin, Independence, Brentwood, Summit, Clarksville, Ravenwood, Hendersonville, Coffee County. The way I see this, I've got Coffee County and Tullahoma and Marshall County, 3 teams we played last year. Marshall County's going to be tough, all right?
Marshall
And we
County's
play
gonna
them
be-
over there. Are we capable of beating them? Yes, we are. We've done it before. It's probably going to be a dogfight. Tullahoma. At Tullahoma now. We played them at
game.
Tullahoma on a
Yeah.
Saturday night in front of TV cameras.
Opening game.
Opening game. That's going to be a tough one, but we need to win that one. Okay, Independence. I see Franklin as a toss-up. I see Independence as a toss-up as far as talent-wise. But
But Franklin, I don't
And then-
know because Franklin came on hot at the end of the year
Yeah.
last year, so I don't know what they lost.
then you look at Brentwood. They finished second in that region.
Right.
Then you had Summit. They beat Nolensville at the end of the year last year.
Yep.
And we know what Nolensville did. All right. Then you got Clarksville. They went 10-2 last year.
Yep.
Ravenwood, you know what they did. Then you got Hendersonville. They had a winning record. I think they were 8-2. So every team on here, there's not any.
No gimmies.
We had 4 gimmies last year.
There ain't no gimmies.
There ain't no
Nope,
gimmies
no
on the
gimmies.
schedule.
You know,
if
when I
if
was
we
at
can win the
Central,
playoffs,
Brentwood,
go to the playoffs.
I think
we've
if
done
you
something.
win half your games, I think you've had.
If
a
you
good
win
year.
half your
Yeah,
games
you've
for
had a
your
good
first
year.
year in
Yeah,
6A, that's an
yeah,
excellent
I,
year.
I don't
If you
disagree.
win 6, man,
I don't disagree.
Coach Tidwell
Yeah, he-
chimed in. Watertown is a district game.
Oh, Watertown
I thought it
is
was.
a
Yeah.
okay.
Thank you,
it's in
Coach.
our
Right.
conference.
Yeah.
Thank you, Coach.
All right, so
Well, we know we got one good listener out there.
that's
now.
right.
Yeah, we got
That's
somebody
paying
listening.
attention to what's going on. All right, so all this Bedford County has got a challenge this year, and we have an opportunity
Well,
at the same time.
I'm going to say one
challenge.
thing that's going to help community just a little bit, guys. First game of the season, they're not going to Lewis County to get beat 48 to nothing to
I
start
know.
their year
it's
off.
that's
For
such a tough
years,
way to start.
it's a ball game, I know, and they were raising money doing it. But that's a tough way every year
Yeah.
to go driving that bus every year on the road.
Doesn't help you
And
morale.
take a
does it?
whipping by 50,
Right.
it sets a bad tone going in. And I think that
All
would be one help right there, that you're not just getting hammered week
we
one.
need to move to college and everything, but I want to mention this about Shelbyville Central. We've got 4 games scheduled for home. The first home game is on September 12th, week 4, and they're working on the field. Okay, it's technically supposed to be done, but it's going to be cutting it close. We
Really
could
close.
possibly only have 3 home games and no home scrimmages. We scrimmage this Friday
And
in
they're all
Columbia.
at the end of the year, all 3 right
Yeah,
together.
all
right?
three.
Yes, all 3 at the end of the year.
I think Coach Dryden was when we had him on, not happy that they had to be 6 away games this year. He just said that's the way it worked. But I'm telling you, I think it's best for Shelbyville this year that it is 6 away games, because next year when their field's done and everything's success, they got 6 home games. So it'll turn around, and we know they will be playing then at home. So we had to do it. Now Cascade's on the other side of this. Cascade has 6 home games this year, which means next year they're going to have to go on the road 6 times. So
Yeah.
they're
Bottom line to this whole conversation, our communities have got to get out and support our teams.
We got
and Shelbyville's going to have to travel.
and Shelbyville's
Road
going to travel.
Warriors.
But Harris Middle School is going to have to travel. All of their Harris Middle School home games are going to be at Liberty this year.
Okay,
So they're going to have to travel
Jimmy
also.
Simmons asked, is there anything about Webb football? Yep.
Webb
it ain't here.
is no more.
It is done.
Webb is
All right.
no more.
All right, well, guys, we need to move, and we're going to talk about some college. Hold on, Coach D. If you're Coach Hype, how do you handle Boot? We're going to talk
We're
about Boot
coming.
Carter.
That's
We're
coming right
on
here.
it.
It's coming right
All
here
right,
after this
so-
break.
After this break, and again, we're going to hear from Kincaid.
Service.
Company. Come on,
Something happened.
company.
What they got there? I wasn't supposed to say that.
Mattresses.
Yeah, that's right.
You go to sleep in there if
Yeah.
you want to.
I'm
Yeah, we
gonna
got
walk
off
in.
on our yeah.
I know. I'm
Yeah.
gonna walk in there one day, and Bill Anderson's gonna be laying up there snoring.
I hope he's got his CPAP with him,
Probably.
That's true.
God.
That's true.
because if he ain't, they won't be able to talk
All right,
to
we're gonna
anybody
take a
else.
quick break and hear from First Bank and Kincaid.
Service.
Company.
Leaving you hanging every time.
That's all right.
All right, we'll
We'll
start.
get
We'll
back.
get.
This is-
We'll get
this
into
is
it.
You
our
can tell
first
it's our
show.
first
It's
week.
our
About-
first
yeah,
week.
yeah.
All right, we'll be right back, guys.
Kincaid Service Company is a locally owned family business that has proudly served the Middle Tennessee area since 1934. We have a wide selection of furniture, appliances, electronics, and mattresses for every budget and design taste. We carry the brands that you know and trust, so you're sure to find exactly what you're looking for. Need financing? We have you covered. With our service department, you can rest assured that we will take care of you after the purchase. Visit our Shelbyville store at 400 Madison Street today.
All righty, guys, we're back in here to talk about some college football and some NFL football. But give us our trivia question one more time.
Oh, yeah, we got to do our
And if
trivia
you know the
question.
answer,
Anybody
Have we
knows?
had anybody respond
Not
yet?
nobody yet, because I don't. When we first put it out there,
Yeah.
there wasn't many listeners. Now people have joined in. They're not used to seeing us now, and they're
Yeah.
got to get back in
And
the
they're not
habit.
used to this question.
Right,
like
here's this
either.
question. Trivia question for everybody out there. And just type it in if you know it. And don't Google it or Twitter it up.
Don't Twitter it up.
Don't Twitter it up.
To let everybody else know, you won't be the sole winner.
All right.
One player in history to win the Heisman Trophy, the national title, the Super Bowl, and the Super Bowl MVP. Name that one player.
And one other thing we're going to do is we're going to give our top 5 place kickers in NFL history when we get to the NFL section at the end. And that's something for you guys to think about.
And some of you guys help me because I didn't come up with one, so y'all help me come up with my top
all right.
5.
All right. So read that question one more time, Bill.
Okay.
Only
One
player.
player to win the Heisman Trophy, a college national title, to win the Super Bowl and win the Super Bowl MVP.
All right.
One player in history.
All right. Let's talk about college football.
All right. We all remember.
Where we going to start at?
We're going to start with Tennessee.
Tennessee. Oh, okay.
Miko Deal Caleb. Coach
Rocky
Heupel
Top.
stands up there and he says this.
Rocky Top.
No player is greater than the power team.
That's right.
Well, what is Boo Carter? Well, y'all hadn't followed this guy. He disappeared all summer, not been responding to calls. He's taking his NIL money. There's some off-the-field stuff, as we would say, Todd Bobo would say, is shady in a gray area. Supposedly, the team has had a meeting with their council, and they want the young man gone. Now, the question will be Monday or Tuesday what happens to him. He hadn't shown up all season. He already took his NIL money.
Well, see, and here's the thing. There's your NIL money that these colleges are going to have to look at. Why do you give somebody NIL money when they hadn't performed for you?
My understanding.
Do you pay your
I think
employees
you get
before they go to work?
Your
They
NIL
got
after you
to
do it.
clock
Yeah.
in.
My understanding is if Mr. Carter chooses not to come back, or basically we get rid of him, the
He's
transfer portal thing's out.
He can't play this year.
Well, he
He
can't
only
play in
play-
the SEC.
he can only
He might
play.
could walk
I don't
on
think
somewhere
so.
as a walk on. I
Yeah.
don't know that that's true because we've changed from 85 scholarships and walk ons. Now it's 105 with no walk ons. I don't think you got walk ons in college anymore. So if this happens, Mr. Carter's going to sit out this year.
Sounds like a bad situation.
Well, it sounds like he'll be financially be able to sit out.
Well, sure, absolutely.
I mean, that's the bad thing about the NIL stuff.
Yes.
Uh,
And he
Let's
was
talk
one-
about that.
That's the bad thing about.
Have you seen the move that Trump made about a week ago, where he came out and he's trying to get this NIL to not be a pay-for-play scheme, but actual name and likeness contracts and that means that the universities aren't the ones out grabbing them and then they're paying them just to play. There actually has to be a value established to them. And he's also got it fixed to where the money's going to be distributed out to all the sports, because Bill and I were talking about this. What are we going to have? Some of these colleges are going to start dropping softball. They're going to start dropping volleyball. They're going to start dropping swimming.
You know where he's got a lot of that from? Nick Saban.
Nick Saban had a big impact on it. Yes,
impact
of
on
course
that,
he
because
did.
that's what Nick Saban's been saying with this NIL stuff for a long time.
Bill, you got your list?
I got a list right here for you. Now think about this for a second. This is the 2026 recruiting.
And think about
NIL numbers.
NIL last year with who won the national championship? Ohio State.
Yeah.
And they had a $22 million team
No, they got more than that probably.
last
So
year.
what do you
This is
got here?
only the 2026, the current recruits' estimated NIL value
Per recruit.
per person per recruit. Now, keep in mind, transfers typically get bigger deals than freshmen.
Mhm.
Because I've heard them say all before. These freshmen are doing pretty good in this class. LSU average NIL for this recruiting class is still in high school, $187,000 per player.
Per.
That's
per
the average
player.
per player.
Do the math.
Texas, 185. Okay, Texas this week signed 3 5-star recruits that had never been to the campus at the University of Texas ever. What's that
And they
tell you?
They're writing checks.
Hey, and the thing about it is, it's going to get worse the closer it gets to signing day, because the last week of signing day, it's just like bids on the internet,
Yeah.
and you bid for
Yep.
this, and then right there the last 15 minutes,
How much do I have to spend?
everybody
Let's just
starts
get it.
throwing it in.
And some of these
it'll get
commits are
worse.
going to decommit.
Yep.
Georgia, 178. Alabama, 175. Then it drops to Tennessee at 110,000. A&M, 100,000. Not to bore everybody, but then when you get past Texas A&M at 100, you get down here to the bottom, you got Kentucky with 30,000.
Right.
You've got Arkansas with 22, Missouri with 21,000 a player, Vandy with 18,000, and poor Mississippi State at $13,000 a player.
And you just did the SEC.
Uh-huh.
These people,
Right.
there's people out there that's trumped LSU.
The teams that spend the most will win the most.
That's right.
That's the way it looks.
They're going to get the talent.
That's right.
Okay,
I mean,
so
you
what
know-
is
you look at it? You look at Ohio State.
Needs to have a
and
salary
Oregon.
cap.
Where do you
Yeah.
think Oregon's going to get their money? Oregon can spend money to get
yeah,
players
they
too.
can.
That's
Yeah,
right.
they can. So,
And-
so
Nike
I
money.
want salary cap, and you get one transfer. That's it.
man, I tell you what, it's just turned into another pro sports
It
pro
is.
sports
It really-
league.
it
And
really
it's like my interest for the past few years has been high school football, because I think it's the purest form, and now it's got all that.
NFL's
garbage in
the
it.
purest
It's like-
form now.
It is.
Because at
It's
least you
unreal.
have a salary
Yeah,
cap.
exactly. You know where
you
you're
got,
at.
you got
Fair.
a salary
Yeah.
cap, and you got players that's going to be there a year or two, at
Yeah.
least 3, unless you're signing them on these 1-year deals.
I want to see. I want to see players on the field playing at their universities and at their high schools because they love that school, they love that high school, they love that university, and they're there because that means something.
Hey,
I
David.
want to. That's gone.
David,
That's gone.
there are people there that are that way, but they sit on the bench.
Yeah, I
And
want
you
to see
don't-
the ones
and you
on the
don't- and you-
field.
and you're not going to see the
You want
ones
to see
on
the
the
Dale?
field.
You want to see
It's
the Dale
not-
Joneses of the world?
That's what I
you're
wanna
not-
see.
you're not
That's
gonna
over.
See that.
Yeah.
You're not
It's
gonna
even.
see that
It's
anymore.
to some degree. It's over at the high school level. And it's sad.
Yeah.
I mean, can we even do it at Pee Wee now? Can we
There-
go watch the Pee Wee kids play?
There's kids.
Are they? I mean, honestly,
They're going to start getting paid too.
and you know,
well, no, they're going to be start thinking about it.
Yeah.
They're
You
going
know-
to be sold the idea that
Mhm.
that you're not doing this for the love of the game. You're doing this because there could be a future at over here or over here, over not your hometown school.
Right.
you know, there's people other than David Thomas that don't like this.
Oh, I know
The
that.
pro GMs,
They hate it.
they
too.
hate
I
it
know.
Oh, yeah.
because there's people, there's these
The
kids
second rounders are setting out right now because they already have money.
because they wanted to guarantee, and they've got money.
Dare
They
I
got-
say
and
we
there-
lost?
and there's some players that won't go into the draft this year
Yeah.
Hey,
because they're making more
Well, the
at
Texas
their
quarterback
college.
shouldn't have gone in.
Yeah.
well,
It's
dare
just-
I say that we lost the greatest coach in NCAA history early because of this.
Exactly.
Nick Saban
agree.
walked away from
Yeah,
it
that-
because of this garbage.
And look
And
at all
there-
the
and there's-
basketball coaches that have walked away.
And,
Hall
there,
of
and
Famers.
there's word out there that he's going to come back
Yeah,
to
He's not
coach.
coming back.
If
Yeah.
he comes back to coaching, he'll be in the pros because, like David said, the pros is more. You got more in the past. You didn't, but the pros you got more. Because we got kids going into the NFL this past year that's played at 3, maybe 4 college programs.
Well, I can tell you. Listen at this one. I can tell you a high school player that was on one team in the season last year. Okay, at the beginning of the season, and in the spring he's playing for another team, and in the start of this year he's at another team in this county.
Really?
He made a little circle. 3 teams within 8 months
Wow.
at the high school level.
That's a fact. Now,
And I'm like, what in the world is that about? That's about a parent that's off the chain. Is
well,
what that's about.
let's talk about
That's all I'll say.
the big player Webb transferred to Oakland, Joel
Yeah.
White.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
4-star. Some say it's fixing to be a 5.
Hey.
Yeah.
Go ahead. You finish and then I'll.
You got a
I'll chime in.
recruiting battle here that some say is Vandy or Tennessee, but it appears he put it off because now Oklahoma got in the mix, Missouri's in the mix.
Georgia was high on him at the first of the year last year because he was at a 5-star. But, you know, he didn't go to Oakland because Webb dropped their program. He went to Oakland 2 weeks before Webb announced
He
that they
did.
were going to drop their program. Okay.
But it was
Now,
it was already out there that
he
it was going to fall.
projects.
So.
The coach at Webb tried to get a hold of him and he never would return a call.
Well, the coaches at most of the SEC schools have told him you are an edge player. He
Right.
does not want to play edge. He wants to be a receiver or a safety. Well, NIL, there's more money in the edge than there is at safety, for example.
Well, let's look at where he has, and let's look at the connections at that school and where the push is going to
Well,
be
I'm
going to
surprised.
Vanderbilt.
I'm just surprised if he wants to be a receiver, why you would go to a school that runs a wing team.
He ain't
I
gonna be a
personally think
receiver.
he would have been better off. Well, that's what he
ain't
wants.
gonna- but hey, I don't care
But now
what he
Vanderbilt's
wants.
told him he can play receiver.
Well, you know
He
why
probably
they're
can,
telling him that? Because they get him there, and once they get him there,
We kind of
You're
got
there.
off track just a little
Yeah.
bit because we're talking about this NIL and all this garbage. It takes you in a lot of different places. So
Mhm.
let's get back on focus here. Let's talk about Tennessee and what their schedule looks like and what their roster is going to look like and what is going to happen to Boo Carter.
That's good. We're gonna find out
Boo
first.
Carter,
of the week.
you won't see Boo Carter in that.
He's
team
gone,
this year.
isn't he?
He's
I, don't,
gone.
I think he should be gone. Now we'll
I
see.
mean-
Because if he's not gone, you've set a bad precedent to
So
everybody else.
if he's not gone, why is Nico gone?
That's exactly right. No one's bigger than the power T, and that needs to happen here. And we can live without Boo Carter. Great player, but we'll be just fine
I'm
with
gonna
that.
tell you
Okay.
what.
We
if
may be
he's-
worse
if he-
off with him.
If he's that way, he's not going to be good in the locker room. Especially when you said the players said, "Get
Team
him."
council wants
Well,
to
last year he was doing a TikTok when Heupel was. It was like after a game, post game, he's talking and he was caught doing like a TikTok during it. Heupel got. I saw the video. Heupel was getting on to him.
Should these things be
Man,
on the
it's-
sidelines of
no,
a football game?
No,
Because AJ Brown, the pros, doesn't read a book.
That's fine.
Okay.
He ain't reading.
Yeah.
He's promoting.
But
AJ
I will
Brown.
say
Yeah.
Tennessee,
He's promoting AJ
recruiting wise, you
Brown.
got a 5-star coming. They've got some really nice offensive linemen and linebackers coming. And locally, Zach Groves from up at Mount Pleasant, he signed with Tennessee. He's going to be a baller.
Let me ask you something. You said he signed. Does that mean he committed?
Well, he's
or
committed.
Is
He's committed.
All right. Now, does that mean anything anymore?
Wait
To
a second.
some, it does. Groves ain't
Committed
going
for
to
this year or next year?
next year. These are freshmen.
Well, you can't do that now.
These are freshmen.
They
They've got
can't
some
do
really
that
good
now.
looking linemen, which they've not been getting. And here's something else. William and Stephen Bobo's cousin, Luke Thompson, he signed with Tennessee, played for Franklin.
Yeah, we're going to play him this year.
Yeah.
But
Right, we're going to play them. They
he's-
got cousins against
here's the
cousin's
thing.
cousin.
They ain't signed yet. They're committed.
Sure.
Right.
So he's committed because
I'm not so sure signing means anything anymore.
signing means
Not if you can
They
transfer.
use,
Not-
especially when they use that disappearing ink.
yeah,
I mean,
Just
and NIL money.
robot pen.
yeah.
Yeah,
But the other thing I'll comment on is how much better Vanderbilt's doing in recruiting from this aspect because they're right up the road. This is the best class they put together since James Franklin was there. They're
good.
getting a lot of kids out of Texas, and supposedly, you know who their leading recruiter is? The quarterback. You're
Doesn't
6 of
surprise
these
me.
kids, but the quarterback was doing the recruiting and not the coaches.
You know what? He may be a coach next year.
Sometimes it takes that
You gotta have
that team
that
leader.
dog.
Well,
That
yeah.
dog.
Well,
Yes.
Chevrolet Central's got that dog.
You gotta
Right,
have
you
that
do.
dog.
I mean, Stephen is he's
gotta
like
have that
rallying that
dog.
team. He and William are. I mean, I
Robert,
keep saying
I know,
Robert.
and Robert,
Keep
Robert's a
rallying
leader.
that team
You gotta have
to
the
hold them
dog.
together. It takes that.
And that's
The
where
coaches
Booth
can't
Carter
do it
is.
And the
anymore.
thing about it, you gotta
He's
have
ever
a
doing a
dog.
TikTok.
You gotta have a dog, but you gotta have a dog that everybody respects.
That's it.
And
Yep.
when
They
everybody
say something, it
respects-
means something.
And if you got a dog that's the coach, if your coach is a dog and everybody there respects him,
Yep.
they're gonna play harder.
Yep.
And then that's what you call chemistry.
All right. We hadn't talked about SEC yet. Let's talk about just overall. I know there's these preseason polls that come out. Tennessee's in there, 14th, 16th, some maybe down as low as 13. How do y'all see the SEC playing out? Who's the top 3 teams that we're going to have to be looking at the end of the year that has a chance to go into the
And
playoffs?
here's what bothers me when you talk about playoffs, and everybody talks about playoffs, and everybody talks about how hard the SEC is. What are they gonna do? They're gonna eat each other, and they're gonna have losses. And then when it gets to the playoffs, they're gonna see this team's got 3 losses, this team's got 4 losses, so they don't need to be where this other one is. And if these other teams that have less losses were playing in the SEC, where
Well, I think that's
Tennessee would
shifting, though,
might
Kenny.
have 4 losses. This
Yeah.
other bunch would have 6.
I think that's shifting the way
It's
this
got
this
to.
playoff structure
I think
is
your big
now.
three's got to be Alabama, Georgia, Texas.
Right. That's
And
it.
I
That's
think
the
those-
3. In which order? Texas
Texas
first,
Texas.
I'd probably go Texas first.
Alabama, then
Georgia.
Georgia.
And I'd probably go Georgia. Then
But I'm gonna
Alabama.
tell you
But
right
all
now-
3 of those are good. I mean,
Hey. Don't sleep on Ole Miss.
don't sleep on Ole Miss.
Don't sleep on LSU. Don't sleep on Texas A&M.
South Carolina.
Don't sleep on South Carolina. Listen,
I mean, it's just
and
it
don't
gets
sleep
bigger.
on Florida.
Yeah. I mean,
Florida's quarterback's healthy. Watch them.
yeah,
Hey,
they could be tough.
You talked about the top 3.
Yep.
There's 5 we said don't sleep on. Those 8, you put all the 8 of those, and they ain't going to.
You could have 6 or 7 teams in the SEC to have 9 wins when it comes right down to it.
If
And that's a 3-loss season, 9-3, 8-4, 9-3. I mean, there's a lot of that going to be going on right there. So
so we ain't. Who did we not mention? Tennessee.
Tennessee.
Don't sleep on them
All right.
because they can beat anybody. Of course, now here we go with Mississippi State, Vanderbilt. Missouri might be one of those teams you don't want to sleep on. Kentucky.
Better not sleep on Vanderbilt, that quarterback.
I
either.
know, and that way, I mean, they can almost sneak in there.
Alabama's-
They can sneak in there and beat
Alabama
Texas like
slept,
they-
and
Texas like they got beat by
the
them.
next week.
Yeah. Kentucky's the one that I think's really trending the wrong way right
Yeah.
now.
All right.
It's sad because I think Stoops is probably,
I think
this
it's
is
his
probably
last
his last
year.
year.
Yeah, I
And
agree.
Mississippi State. And
But
Mississippi
in Stoops'
State.
case, I think he's done about as good as
I
you're
do
going to
too.
do there. I
He's
really do.
not-
I
he's- I agree.
And I think they're going to run him off at the end of the year. And
All
I
right,
think,
Dave Overcast comes in and says Georgia, Texas, and then South Carolina.
see, I
Who?
agree. David Overcast.
Says who?
Georgia, Texas, and then South Carolina.
And he was the
I
one that
wouldn't
gave us
sleep
our
on
trivia.
Carolina. I wouldn't
I
sleep
mean,
they
on
got some
Carolina
athletes.
either, I'm telling you.
All right, let's
do
shift
that
gears.
trivia question one more
Yeah,
time.
the trivia question.
One
We've got some
player
answers here.
in history to win the Heisman Trophy, the national title, win the Super Bowl, and win the Super Bowl MVP. One player's done it. Anybody out there got it yet?
I've got
we've
two. I got two guesses.
Troy Aikman and Marcus Allen is the two that we've got so far. So let's just keep it quiet, and we'll do this at the end. And now we're going to shift gears and talk some pro football. What kind of Titans rumors have we got going on? We got all kinds of stuff going on.
Man,
but
Titans are
they're I can't figure it out, man.
Bill's boy. Hey, here's one thing. I want to hear his name one time, and you don't get to talk about him no more this year.
Okay.
Will Levis.
Mail boy.
Mayonnaise
man.
He's done.
He's done.
So we don't have
Titans were shocked.
Never play with the Titans
I
again.
can say this. They had no clue he was going to have surgery. There was nothing wrong with him several weeks ago. What I do think is he wanted to be traded or wanted to be released. Now, you've got to remember here, the same thing with Traylon Burks. Everybody wants to cut this guy. Yeah, you probably could cut him. But you're going to get a compensatory pick because he was a 1. So you're going to get a 3 if you just hang on to Burks, even if he's on the pup list. Yeah, that's why you don't cut him. The same can be said for Levis at some point. You're going to get a 4th-round compensatory, possibly.
But you ain't going to get it this year because they can't play.
And then you have Lorenzen Carter, who had just signed defensive end, come in. That's the second year in a row we've had a player, first day of camp, quit, retire.
And that's what I don't like about going out and getting these high-dollar people.
He wasn't a high-dollar player, but
I mean,
now here's the concern. Your backup quarterback is Brandon Allen and Tim Boyle.
he won't be.
And I hear the general manager straight up said this. And so
Brandon Allen.
he said, we are fine at the quarterback
Yes,
position.
exactly.
Okay, you got a backup
Better hope
quarterback.
Cam Ward don't get hurt.
Hey,
What about
better-
Tannehill? Where's he?
when preseason football's over with and people go to cutting these guys, Tennessee will pick up somebody.
We brought these
up.
two quarterbacks in early in the free agent, so they must have thought something of them because they brought them in early. Neither one of them can play. If something were to happen to Cam Ward, you're going to lose every game.
Yeah.
Every game.
I'll say 6 wins for the Titans a good season.
Oh, that'd be outstanding.
We could win 6.
What did they win last year?
3.
There you go. That's twice as bad as what they did
I
last year.
think he can get you 6.
Well, he better not get hurt.
Yeah, really.
The other concern I've got is L'Jarius Sneed. You paid all this money to at corner. And I keep hearing I'm healthy, and here you are again.
He ain't playing, man. He's
You're on the
done.
pup again.
There you go.
There you go.
There you go.
So he played in 4 or 5 games for $80 million. I mean, this is what got that general manager fired, too, is his contracts on guys like this. I think he's a guy that didn't want to practice for one, just wants to play.
Yep.
That's a
You
problem.
see that a lot.
See that a lot.
So my next thing is Eric Emanuel. I'm told he looks like a man. He's a rookie wide receiver out of Stanford.
Oh, yeah. He's gonna
And
be
he looks like an NFL. Said in the practice field, you thought, well, who's that veteran right there? That's a rookie.
Yeah.
He's going to be a good player. And I think Cam Ward's going to be fine if we don't ruin him.
All right. Do you think that Traylon Burks will be anywhere around starting day? Do you think he'll be on the roster?
I've got to either do one of two things. Either makes the team or I find a way to put him on the pup and say he's not healthy and keep him on the roster because I want that third-round compensatory pick for a first-round pick.
Yeah.
When's the last time the Titans got a compensatory
I'll
pick?
tell you, I think the biggest improvement for the Titans this year is going to be where I always said, what I always go to first is their offensive line.
And I hope you're right.
I think their offensive line is going to be so much better this year
I think so.
than it
I hope
was
so.
last year if they can stay healthy.
If the left tackle we paid all
If
that
they
money
can
to
stay
works out.
healthy.
He wasn't that good in Pittsburgh, guys.
He's going to be. I think they will be better.
I love the guard. We brought him from Detroit, but he's 36.
That's
But
fine.
I love him. Still a Pro Bowler.
That's fine. But we got veteran. We got some good young ones, and we got 2 good young ones. We got 3 veterans.
Yep.
And we got a rookie quarterback.
I think the offense is
So
going to be
then
better.
We got. and
Here's
that's-
my other concern. Defensively, what on earth are we doing? We're bringing in these great big edge rushers because we don't have any edge. We are a 3-4 team in theory. We just took a kid out of UCLA in the second round that is a 3-4 edge linebacker. Yet we're going out here and signing 4-3 defensive ends. We're full of them. 280, 290.
I think some of that goes into the fact that you're going to play Indy, you're going to play Jacksonville, and you're going to play Houston.
Are we changing to a 4-3 now? Is that what we're
I
doing?
don't know, but I think they're drafting according to what they got to do to make it to the playoffs. And none of those 3 teams are going to be way out. They're going to rely more on the ground game a little bit. I think.
I don't know. I think it's a quarterback-driven league, and I think it's also you got to be able to get to the quarterback.
I
don't
disagree.
see us being
Don't
able to get to the
disagree.
quarterback.
Brandon Crossland is excited about our new broadcaster. What's his name? Taylor?
Taylor
Zazar.
Yeah.
off the Golf Network.
Yeah.
Who?
The poor guy didn't have a chance. You're never going to replace Mike Keith, the Titans' new play-by-play guy.
Oh no!
And whoever you are, you're going to fail because Keith was so great.
Yes, Keith was.
I mean, you're just. It's never. I don't care if he does a great job. He's not going to be Mike Keith. Nobody's going to forget.
It's sort of like the.
I can't wait for
the
my
head
Keith
coach
to
at
call it.
Alabama.
I know
Coming
about
in to
that.
replace Saban. It's tough.
All right, so you think Tennessee Titans go 6-9, 6-11? That's a good year for them.
I think if they win 5 or 4, it's a good year.
I think 6 is.
This roster's not good. That's the other problem.
Here's the thing. I think they'll win 7 games at least
They could.
because of the way the schedule is. The roster is better than it was last year.
And the schedule's
But
not
defense,
bad.
I think it
The
is.
schedule is better than
is
it was
better,
last year also.
On defense, I don't think they're as good as they were a year ago.
All right, guys, we have talked about a whole lot of
We
things.
have.
And we have gone an hour and 5 minutes.
And don't
And-
seem like we just started.
Hey, I know we got a lot to talk about, but let's go back to our trivia question, Bill.
All
I
right.
think I know it.
All right. Only player to win a Heisman Trophy, college national title, win the Super Bowl MVP.
And the NFL MVP. Dave Overcast those out
That's
there.
right.
And the
NFL MVP. See, he's the one that came up with the question.
All right, and we've got a winner out there.
Yep.
Okay. Somebody
Let's let
came
them guess
up. All right,
first.
who is it?
I think I know.
I know. Will Levis.
Joe Theismann.
Nope.
Not Theismann.
Will Levis.
Marcus Allen.
Running back.
Archie Griffin.
You knew
Marcus Allen's the answer.
Marcus
Will
Allen
Levis.
is the answer.
the Titans kept Will Levis from being that.
That's
so they
right.
didn't
I
make
thought it
to
was
the
going to be
Super Bowl.
Theismann.
No, it's Marcus Allen. USC won the Heisman.
Theismann,
Okay.
did he win the Heisman? I know he was up. He was close if he did.
The other guy that was the closest I came up with was Joe Namath, believe it or
I
not.
thought
Yeah.
about Joe Namath
Yeah.
too. I was
But he didn't
thinking,
win the
what?
Heisman
Who
in
had a
Alabama.
good college team and won it? Yeah.
But he didn't win the Heisman, so that was only knock on.
Yeah, somebody put Troy Aikman, which was
Yeah.
a good guess. At
Great guess.
Yeah.
Well, where did Troy Aikman play?
Oklahoma to start with, and then UCLA.
There you go. And UCLA.
Yeah.
There you go.
All right, so top 5 place kickers of all time in
All right.
NFL.
Are we starting with 5 or 1?
Let's start with 5. Who wants to go with number 5?
I'll go Adam Vinatieri at number 5. Old Patriots kicker.
You know, I like.
Kenny's trying to cheat on my list.
No,
I
no.
know this.
I'm gonna keep mine hidden over here.
Yeah,
Rick.
you keep him hidden. I don't know what
Here,
his
you wanna
name
look?
was. No, he kicked at. He kicked for the Saints.
Morton Anderson.
Morton Anderson.
Yep.
Okay,
Great one.
who you got?
Number 5,
Mhm.
John Stenerud.
Okay, I've got Adam Vinatieri. Number 4, Kenny.
You gonna start with me?
Yeah.
Gonna go back old school here.
I got a lot of old school on mine.
Knowing more for his highlights, he kicked it for the Dolphins. No, for the Raiders.
George Blanda.
George Blanda was good.
You're
Janikowski.
thinking
Janikowski.
You're thinking of
Janikowski.
Sebastian Janikowski. Yeah. All right, who you got, Bill?
George Blanda.
Okay. Who you
I got Gary Anderson at 4.
Okay, I got Jason Elam at 4.
That's a good.
Okay.
one. I looked at him.
All right, Bill, number 3.
Morton Anderson.
Okay. I've got Gary Anderson at number 3.
I went the Jan Stenerud guy.
Jan Stenerud.
Yeah, he was one of the only 4. There's only 4 kickers in the
Kansas
Hall
City.
of
Fame.
Fame.
Kansas
Hall of Fame.
City.
Yeah.
All right, who you got?
Y'all put me on the spot here. Guy kicked for the Dolphins. Left
Garo
foot.
Upremian.
Yeah.
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 He was
All
a
right.
good
Premium.
one.
Yeah.
He kicked for the only team in the NFL that ever
Yeah.
didn't lose a game.
Yeah. Number 2 for me is Justin Tucker.
Yeah, he's a
Good
good
one.
one.
I got Lou Groza at number 2.
Okay.
I'm
That's
gonna
old
cheat.
school.
I'm gonna cheat. I'm gonna follow David up with that. That's a good pick.
All right.
Adam Vinatieri, the most clutch kicker in history.
Yeah. I had him at number 5. All right. Number 1,
Morton Anderson.
that's who I got. Morton Anderson.
This one ain't close to me. It's Justin Tucker.
Yeah.
66-yard record field goal, more kicks over 50 yards, 63 of them. That blows everybody away.
And I'm gonna go with the guy that kicked for the Patriots. I think
Adam Vinatieri.
Hey,
Clutch.
when is the kicks the most important? When's a kick going to get you fired? When you miss it at the end? So you want to be clutch.
Okay.
Morton
There you
Anderson is one of the only 4 in the
Yep.
Hall of Fame and 7 Pro Bowls. It's
I
hard to
agree.
beat that.
Yeah,
Morton
it
Anderson,
is.
That's
It is,
right.
He had a long career.
He had the
played
most
for a
Pro
lot
He
of
kicked till
teams.
he's 46 years
But,
old.
all right, here's the deal. Who was the kicker that held the longest field goal with half a, and he only
Jack
had half
Dempsey.
a foot?
Jack
He
Dempsey.
had a half a foot.
Had
and
half a
then
foot.
Jason Elam
Straight
has
on.
got more kicks over the record than anybody else, and
And
he
then-
did it in Denver.
And then there was
Yeah.
Mark Murphy that kicked for the
Yeah.
for the Red.
But I tell you
for the
somebody that
Hey, you
at
can
the end of
actually
his
say that.
career,
Mark Murphy, who'd he kick for? You can actually say it now, Bill, because it's true. The Redskins.
no, the Redskins.
Command, not the
All right.
command skins.
Yeah.
All right. So Gary Anderson came and he kicked for the Titans there for a little while, and he was productive. But man,
Yep.
he hit them little line drive shots. They'd go 50 yards. He'd get
Single
head
crossbar.
high. Yes,
Gary
yeah,
Anderson
yeah,
said
yeah.
it's single crossbar.
All right,
old
guys,
school.
that's the end of it for us for this first
Hey,
edition.
Yep.
And we want to
Great.
thank everybody for bearing with us on a
Happy
long
birthday,
show.
Scott Sprague.
That's
Yeah,
it.
happy
Right.
birthday,
Oh,
Scott.
you gonna sing your birthday?
Woo, happy birthday to you, Scott.
Let's stop that.
All right.
All right, and again, we thank our sponsors, First Bank here in Shelbyville, and
Kincaid.
Service.
Company.
where Service is their middle name. Guys, we'll be back again, same time, same place next week.
Invite a friend.
Yeah, invite a friend, share our post, and
Invite a friend.
Do we have a coach coming in next week?
let's see, Coach Tidwell's coming.
That's
The
the
week
next
after
week, I
next?
think.
Next
Okay.
week we'll probably have Coach Dryden. He'll probably
Okay.
show in.
Good.
We're going to talk a lot this week and see what's going on. He'll have his first scrimmage on Friday at Columbia, so
And
he'll
then
be
we
able to
know
talk about that.
Community is going to Cornersville Friday at 6:00, and I'm not sure Cascade's going to be scrimmaging somewhere.
Yeah, all that starts this
Yeah,
week.
Yeah,
and
it
man,
all. Yeah,
school.
yeah.
Here it comes.
School's
Guys,
going.
thanks for watching. We'll see everybody again next week. Have a great weekend.